Whenever you're explaining something to someone who knows less than you have to be careful how you approach it. To visualize this, I like to use this diagram. We have a teacher up here, and we have a student down here. It doesn't have to be a literal teacher-student in a classroom. It can be a tutor, someone being tutored. It can be two peers, two coworkers helping each other out. It just has to be one person knows more than the other. And I drew the diagram like this as you can't explain something at this level. There's an imbalance. The teacher is looking down on the student, and the student is looking up at the teacher. This is bad, as the student will never question anything the teacher says, and they'll think everything they say is correct. They will never challenge anything the teacher says. And the teacher can't look down on a student, otherwise they won't think very highly of them, and they'll say things like, oh, this is so easy. You just do that. It's simple. And easy enough for you to say, right? You know the material very well, you're experienced, you've worked in this field for a while, etc. But as a student, they don't think it's easy, right? That's why they're here. They wouldn't be asking for help if they thought it was easy. People learn at different levels, they're at different stages of their lives. Some things just click for some people, but some things are hard for other people. So you've got to acknowledge that. So what you've got to do is you've got to bring yourself to their level. You've got to make it seem like you're human, that you're not this all-knowing expert that never messes up, never makes mistakes, right? You want to have some humility and show that the material is actually difficult and challenging. It may not be for you, but you've got to make it seem like that so you seem relatable, right? But you also don't want to go too low where you're sounding condescending and you're explaining something like they're a 2-year-old, right? And then on the other side, you want to lift the student up. They may not feel very good about themselves, they may feel dumb, and it may be hard for them to ask for help, right? For two main reasons. One, humility. Some people don't like to admit that they don't know something. It may be hard to ask for help and admit that you're stuck. And then the second reason is they don't want to bother someone, right? They say sorry to bother you. Um, they think people are too busy to help them, where most people are not as busy as you think and would be happy to help. And so there's a real barrier to getting in this situation in the first place, to asking help. So you got to acknowledge that and give them confidence. Have patience with them, have understanding, be compassionate for where they're at, right? You were in their shoes at one point. You didn't know what you were doing, and you either got help from someone or um, through many years um, became more knowledgeable on it. So now we're at an even playing field like this, and this is where real teaching happens. And this is where you have to rely on your knowledge. You have to just be prepared, and it's one thing to know the material, it's another to be able to articulate it to someone who knows less than you, right? So you just got to know your stuff really well and do examples, do demos, have them go through questions themselves. And you just want to say things like, this is challenging. A lot of people find this difficult. Um, and just explain it in different ways as people learn differently and struggle with different things. And the key is at this level, what can happen is you can be going through an example And the best thing is when they go, whoa, why did you do that? They challenge you and they say, isn't it like this? And this is when you've reached a harmony, right? I didn't label these people as student or teacher, right? They're just two humans interacting, and they can both learn from each other. They can ask questions, they can challenge each other, they can do whatever because it's just two humans at the same level interacting. Whereas in this red state at the beginning, you've got an imbalance, and the student thinks the teacher knows what they're talking about and would never dare challenge them, right? And that's not good, as questioning is how you learn. And if they are questioning you, that's showing they have the confidence, you've given them the confidence, and it's showing that